In 2002, football star Pat Tilman left the NFL to enlist in the U.S. Army and was tragically killed in Afghanistan by friendly fire 2 years later. In her first talk show appearance, please welcome Pat's wife, the inspirational Marie Tilman. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And first of all, my heart just goes out to you. I just can't even imagine. And you're a brave and, as I said, inspirational woman. So after 9/11, Pat is playing football for
Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals, and making $3.6 million. That's his contract?
That was his contract if he would have stayed. Yes.
And decides after 9/11 that he wants to join the Army.
Yeah.
And why did he feel that that was what he should do?
Well, I think like a lot of people after September 11th, he sort of took a step back and said, okay, here's my life and here's this, extraordinary thing that's happened in this country. And, sort of evaluated everything and who he was and where his place in the world was and what he wanted it to be. And he just really felt strongly that he wanted to join the Army. So.
And how did you feel about that? I mean, you were engaged, right?
Yeah.
So you're engaged, and he makes this decision that's going to impact you as well.
Yeah.
And what did you feel?
It was definitely sort of a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, we went through a lot in coming to that decision. But I supported it. I understood the reason why he made the decision, and we'd been together for a long time and sort of, had a relationship that had grown over time. So it was something that I felt was important to support him in.
So first he goes to Iraq, and what was that like? That's the first time he leaves. He's in Iraq, and were you able to speak with him?
Not really. It was really early in when we first invaded Iraq, and so there wasn't communication set up, and it was really difficult. I mean, I think things have changed a little bit now, but I have a lot of empathy for families who are home, with soldiers overseas, because the communication is sometimes limited.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going on.
No,
you don't.
you
So
have no idea.
then he comes home safely. And how long was he home before he went back to Afghanistan?
He was home maybe about 5 months or so. He had some training in between, 5-6 months, and then he went back overseas.
And how long was he there before he was killed?
He wasn't there actually very long. It was about 2 weeks. I had heard from him a couple times before he was killed in Afghanistan.
So you get word that he was killed in combat, right?
Yeah. The first thing that we were told when he was killed was that, there was an ambush and that he had been killed. So it was not until about 5 weeks later that we found out that it was actually friendly fire.
And how did you find out that it was friendly fire after they told you that it was an ambush?
Well, it came out in bits and pieces over several years and through, the efforts of my mother-in-law and getting investigations and all of that. So it was a long process.
So now you've created this foundation that Pat Tilman would tell us about the foundation.
And that was really, there was a point in time after he was killed where I just sort of decided I need to get back to this place that felt more like him and how he lived his life, and started concentrating more on the foundation. So we support military families and veterans with education. And in a lot of instances, they're not traditional students. So, that's books and tuition, but also sometimes childcare or whatever it is that they need so that they can accomplish their educational goals.
Because that's what he was all about, education.
Yeah.
He was a very smart guy, right?
Yeah.
Very smart guy. Well, good for you. And thank you so much for being here.